Guys, good morning. It's me, Sandra, with the Curvy Logic YouTube channel. So I am going to be doing a video about the top 5 things that I have learned during my first week of ESG. I had a gastric sleeve on Tuesday, December 19th. And it's now December 28th, so almost 10 days post-op, and a lot of lessons learned during that first week. I am actually in pain right now because the number one lesson I learned is to rest. I am a busybody. I don't know how to sit down. I'm always doing everything. I only took a week off from work, and that's because in my line of duty, I can work from home or I can work in the office. So I thought, sure, I'll just work from home the second week of recovery, and made it through half a day, and then logged off, and now I'm back to taking the rest of the week off and just trying to rest to get out of pain, because once I go back to work next week, it's a whole different ball game. I can't keep taking all the time because my work just sits there and it piles up. So I was doing great with recovery. I was feeling too good, and a lot of that is your pain medicine. Your pain medicine will have you feeling like Superwoman, as my friend said. And you're like, oh yeah, I can do this. I can, they tell you to walk. Sure, I can walk. Matter of fact, let me clean up the house. Let me scrub some toilets. Let me mop. Let me, move some light things around. I've got all this time off work. Why not, make it productive? And I did all that. And on Sunday, Christmas Eve, on Christmas Day, I was feeling great. I did so much. I was just doing great. And Christmas Eve, I actually slept in our bed for the first time. I had been sleeping on the couch just because it hurts to lay down flat. And I thought, my legs are starting to hurt. I really need to lay down. So I slept in our bed on Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day, I was feeling okay. My side was hurting a little. But, I took some pain meds. It's like, okay, let's go. Went over to see my grandma's, we just had fun. And about an hour into, maybe 30 minutes into leaving the house to go over to my grandma's, I started having side pain. And it just got progressively worse. And then I took another dose of pain medicine and was feeling great again, so started moving around again. And by the time I got home, once all the pain medicine wore off, I was feeling really crappy. Sorry, God. Feeling really crappy. And now each day... Oh, no, and then I pushed through it the next day to go to work from home. But even when you're working from home, I'm like hunched over a computer, and that's putting more pressure on. And just the pain has gotten so bad because I don't know how to sit my ass down. I went to the grocery store yesterday, pushed it too far there. So now I'm just vegging out on the couch, and the only time I'm getting up is to actually take my walks throughout the day that the doctor recommended, because I really set myself back by not recovering. I just had a major surgery, and as much as I like to think that I'm Superwoman, I'm not, and I really do need to sit my tail down somewhere, like my friend Shay says, sat down somewhere. Because I really am setting my body back, and I am at a larger size, and I don't want to risk complications. So, My niece is going to run some errands for me today because I still have stuff to do. And aside from me getting up and going on my walks, I have to walk at least an hour a day. Other than that, I'm sitting down and letting my body heal, taking my medicines, focusing on my protein and my hydration. And hopefully when I go to work next week, I will be in such better shape, because this, like, it's starting to feel almost like I just had my surgery yesterday. So that's lesson number 1. Move, but allow your body to recover. Lesson 2 kind of ties into that. Be careful sleeping in your bed. Holy crap. You don't realize how much of your core you use, and you just had a major surgery on your core. If you had VSG, you likely had 5 or 6 incisions around your stomach or around your abdomen area. And you use a lot of your core, especially around your stomach. That's like a major bending a major bending area. And when you lean forward to get in and out of bed, ouch, it hurts. So I have been sleeping on my couch since I got out of surgery until I tried sleeping in my bed. And one of the things I realized is it started to hurt to lay flat, and I am a stomach sleeper or side sleeper, and sleeping with my arm or my fist, anything like that, punching in on my incision sites, I don't realize that I'm doing it, but I am, and so I'm waking up with more pain. So I'm actually going to try to go back to sleeping on the couch. And it you just got to really be careful, because when you're sleepy, you don't realize what you're hitting unless that pain wakes you up. And you just got to be really careful with that. And number 3 is sodium. Holy crap. The amount of sodium that is in all these prepared soups and broths, bisques, chowders, everything that you're going to eat and blend to make it liquid is insane. And for someone, I take 3 blood pressure medicines. And I have a history, family has a history dating back generations for hypertension. I have hypertension. I've had it the majority of my life. And the amount of sodium in one can or one package of tomato soup. See, even now I'm like sitting, but I sit with my hand rested on it, and I'm pressing in, and I don't realize that I'm doing that. So sitting, or not sitting, the potato soup packages, like, I have been using a loaded baked potato soup just because after a couple weeks on liquids, you are completely tired of liquids. You need to change up your palate, or you need to, please your palate some. And I had I don't know what brand it was, but it was the loaded baked potato soup. It was amazing. And I pulsed it through the NutriBullet to get it completely fine, and then mixed it with water to where it was a really thin consistency. But and I would eat that throughout the day. There's 4 servings in there, and it would last me 2 days. But in those 4 servings, it's like 1,000-something milligrams of sodium per serving. So just one serving is blowing almost my entire day's worth of sodium, and that's just one meal. I still get sodium in my broths that I thin a lot of my soups with. I still get sodium in, actually I think that's all I get sodium in. But your diet is basically broths and liquids, and there's so much sodium in that. And I haven't been able to wear my wedding ring, just because my sausages have gotten bigger. And my extremities were swelling. My fingers, my feet, my lower ankles. my lower legs, everything was swelling. And that's also something you want to be careful of, because you need to know whether or not your swelling is coming from the edema, like I have, the condition of water retention, or if the swelling in your legs is getting related to anything related to your heart, or your the beginning of a pulmonary embolism, which is a blood clot. And those usually start, especially after surgery, those usually start in your legs. So if you had gastric sleeve or gastric bypass, you likely got some heparin shots or something similar along the lines of a blood thinner, or a blood thinner, to help you reduce the risk of clotting, because you're at a greater risk. And so having swelling in your legs and pain in your legs can kind of worry you after surgery, because you're like, oh gosh, is this the beginning of a blood clot? And for me, it wasn't. It's just right after surgery, they took me off of my hydrochlorothiazide, which is a diuretic, and it helps you remove a lot of the excess water, because when you have high blood pressure, like I do, really high blood pressure, you have a lot of water retention. So that helps remove a lot of the water. And the thing with that is, you remove that one treatment that helps remove the excess water, but then you're adding in sodium broths and liquids that will increase your blood pressure and then also lead to more water retention. So you're kind of setting yourself up to have some having, I'm trying to stop cursing so much. It took a while for God to deal with me with that, but now he's working on it. I'm a work in progress. Thank you, Jesus. So if you see me correct myself, that's why. I'm not insane. Yes, I am, but not like holy crap insane. So that's why I keep correcting myself. I also have ADHD, and I'm off my meds too, so I'm like scatterbrained. Edema. So I am swollen, and I was starting to just retain a lot of water, and it really hurts when your legs and feet swell. So I started back on my diuretic. I let my doctor know. And I'm taking it every other day, just because my blood pressure was insanely high, and adding in the sodium, and then the enema that I had to take was sodium. Ooh, I need to make that another point. You will be constipated. But there was so much sodium in my diet, so I had to start adding the hydrochlorothiazide in. And in one day, I lost 10 pounds. That's how much fluid I had retained on me. And I'm starting to feel better, like my fingers, I can do this. It hurt to do this, just like to move my fingers. So watch your sodium intake. If you can make your broths from home, do that. If you can buy sodium-free broth or stock, do that. It won't taste as well, taste as good, but I made a broth last night, and I'm going to post the recipe, because it's so flavorful that you don't really miss a lot of the sodium, but we really have to watch our sodium intake. And then if you do have to buy soups and things like that from the store, just make sure you thin them out to help make to lower the sodium content as much as possible. The next lesson that I learned, which is a big one, was I have to measure my foods. And that's something that I want to talk to my doctor about, because after surgery, some people say your stomach is kind of numb. You just had your nerves severed. You can't really feel anything. And I just want to know the truth behind that and things like that. So I'm going to ask my doctor about that. But after surgery, a couple days after surgery, I was fine just drinking my water. I can take normal drinks from my water. I am a water junkie, so I can kill all my water goals, because I usually drink about a gallon of water a day. People always ask me how my skin looks this way without foundation. It's because I drink water. Water is the best thing you can do for your skin. And I'm able to sit and drink 20 ounces of water in one sitting, not like gulping, but just within like 15 minutes. And water runs right through you, so I heard. I want to get clarification on that too. But I had this image in my head that I'm only supposed to drink like a little medicine cup of water. Not true. I can still hold a lot of water. I can still hold the soup I can drink. I haven't pushed it past a cup and a half, but I can drink like a cup and a half of soup in a sitting without feeling nauseous or feeling stuffed or anything like that. It's just, I can just hold it. It doesn't even feel like I had the surgery because I don't feel any restriction. Now, when I was cheating, and I did cheat a couple times during my liquid phase, pre and post-op. And when I say cheating, it wasn't like, I went out and had some burgers, but on Christmas, I had, my friend made sliced sweet potatoes, and he baked them. And it was mushy, so I had a slice of a sweet potato. And it was the disc was about maybe that big. And I ate it and chewed it to infinity and beyond. It was just mush. It was like baby food. And just one little disc, I felt uncomfortably full. Well, not uncomfortably full, but I felt like, okay, I'm done. And then pre-surgery, it doesn't matter pre-surgery because I didn't have the restriction. But pre-surgery or post-surgery, I also had, I baked 3 ounces of fish, and it was just like a light flaky fish just because I needed something. And I got through maybe 2 ounces of that before I started feeling uncomfortable. So I think I'll get better once I switch over to pureed and soft foods and solids. I'll start feeling that restriction. But right now, since I'm on liquids, I don't really feel a restriction. But the soups that I eat still have calories in them, and I still need to measure out what I'm eating. I don't need to eat to where I feel that satisfaction. My body doesn't need that anymore. So I have a little cup, a little Tupperware cup that's about a cup, holds a measurable cup of food. So I actually started using that to help guide me through my meals so that I'm not overeating on calories and still getting in a lot of the calorie intake and sodium and things like that from foods. Because a bowl of soup I don't need to be eating a bowl of soup. So making sure I measure that out, having like 4 ounces of soup, 6 ounces of soups, things like that. And yeah, just making sure I measure everything. And then I have some, my sinuses are jacked up. I have my little pudding cups, not my pudding cups, my Jell-O cups, the little cups of sugar-free Jell-O that we have to eat. They're, I think, 3.5 ounces. I actually washed some of those out because that's how much I should be eating. I think once I get the solids, that's the most that I'll be able to eat. So I actually saved those. And what I'm going to do is have those at my desk at work so that I can measure out my food and make sure that I'm not eating uncomfortably, because you have to change everything. It's like you're a baby again. You're learning how to eat. You're learning how to correct a lifetime of behaviors. And it's going to take training. You got to train yourself. And that actually ties into my last point, which is watch your behaviors. My behaviors are what got me here. I'm a compulsive overeater. I'm a food addict. I eat nonstop without even thinking about it. Sure, I think, oh, I don't really eat that much. Everybody thinks they don't eat that much. And then when you go the liquid diet and you're unable to eat what you used to eat, and you go through these behaviors that you used to do, you realize you're eating a lot throughout the day. And well, for me, I was eating a lot throughout the day without even noticing it. So, for example, one of my smoothies that I made, I put a banana in it, but almost like a Pavlovian dog, once I peeled the banana, the first thing I do is take a bite of it, break it, put the rest in the blender, and then if there's any left over in the bottom of the peel, I eat that too. So already I ate 2 bites of the banana, which with my sleeve, I can't do that. I can't eat a whole banana. My sleeve is about the size of a banana. I can't do that. So after I took my first bite, I had to realize, oh crap, I can't do this. So I had to spit it out. And then when making my soups, like my loaded potato soup, one of my recipes that I tried, I put some cheese in the soup. And like habit, I put the cheese in the soup, sprinkled it, and then took another little pinch of it and was about to go, and I actually did. I ate it. And I was like, crap. So like these little behaviors that I do, I didn't even know I did. Things like licking bowls. If I put pudding into my smoothie, I eat half of the pudding before I put it in there. So not realizing the mindless eating that I do. Drinking things, my gulps. Like I said, I'm a water addict. So not an addict, use that term loosely. I am a food addict, like legit. But water, I love water, and I will take my water or any drink that I have and I used to be able to kill this in one sitting, and would just toss it back, drink it all, fill it up, and then the next time, I used to binge drink water. So after 30 minutes or so, not 30 minutes, maybe an hour or two, I would drink another one. And this is 32 ounces. This is a lot for your stomach to hold. So making sure that when I drink my water, I'm, taking just sips, and not like gulp, gulp, gulp. So that's a behavior that I have to change. Just so many behaviors that I didn't even know I had. It's a lot. So being aware of those behaviors and catching them when you see them pop up and correcting them. So I still haven't begun the correction yet. Well, when I do it, I'm like, okay, that's ridiculous. Stop. But I'm trying to think of how I can be more cognizant of that when I go to cook. So I'm trying to think of what I can do to correct those behaviors. And once I find out, I'll let you know. But yeah, things like that. Drinking milk, like pouring my milk into my smoothie and then taking a swig of the milk. So you got to really watch your behaviors. And again, throughout the first week, it's just been a complete learning experience for me, and a lot of lessons learned. Any failure that I make, any slip up that I make, any cheat, it's a learning process for me. We're not perfect. You're going to cheat. You're going to, and if you don't cheat, fantastic. But you're going to cheat. You're going to take a bite of something. You're going to gulp something too quickly. And it's all a learning experience, but they're dangerous learning experiences because you had a major surgery and your body has to heal. You're not Superwoman. You're not Superman. You're not Darkwing Duck. You're not none of that. You're not a superhero. You have to really pay attention to your recovery and your body. We've spent our whole lives ignoring our bodies, not listening to hunger cues, not listening to full cues, not listening to everything that our body has told us. And now is the time to listen. Your body, you did this for your body. Now listen to it. Your body will tell you what you need, what you don't need, and listening to your body is next to listening to your physician. That's the main thing. Your body will tell you naturally what what you need. If your body is hurting and every time you move, your body's telling you to sit the hell down. Sit down. If you are feeling, too full when you're eating, your body's telling you, okay, slow up. I don't need all that. So listen to your body. This video is now 26 minutes long. Way too long. I've rambled. So I hope that helps some of you. Again, I am not a doctor. I know some things, but there's a lot of shit I don't know. There's a lot that I don't know. And your first resource needs to be your doctor. Don't say, oh, well, Sandra said I could do this. Sandra also says you can send me $1 million. So if you want to listen to what Sandra says, listen to that. Don't rely too heavily on advice from YouTubers, bloggers, online forums, and all that. They're great for support and camaraderie and just relationships, knowing other people's experiences. Like, this is just my experience. But when it comes to what you need to do, listen to your doctor. Listen to your surgeon team, your medical team. Listen to them first. And if you get advice, run it by them first, because they're the ones that know you more intimately than anybody else. They've been inside of you. They know you. They know what your body can do, what it can't do. And then they have the experience of going through this with so many other patients. So they have a plethora of experiences that they can draw on. So make sure you're listening to them first and run any advice that you have through them. And that will, help keep you safe as well. But again, I'm not a doctor. This is just my experience. Honestly, I wouldn't recommend listening to me at all. But it's, this is my experience. I want to share it with you. So, with that, signing off. I'm going to finish drinking my water, get my protein in, and see you guys later.